Okay.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Created to Write. I have the gorgeous Diana Davison with me today. Welcome to the show, Diana.
Hello.
Would
Hello,
you like to
Michelle.
tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Diana Davison, and I live in Brisbane, um, Queensland, and I am an author and poet, and my latest book is called Tickle Pink. So I'd
Cute.
throw that in there. And I've been writing for a few years now, mainly starting in poetry. And moving on to including poetry, but creative nonfiction writing. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, what's the best part about being a writer for you?
Well, the best part of being a writer, really, for me, is the fact that it's everything that's in my head, and I can play around with it, and I can be by myself in my own space and put it down on paper and let the words play and breathe, and then see what that leads to. Um, because sometimes it might start with just the title, or it might start with just a word, and then all of a sudden you've got a big picture there you didn't even see. So I like that. I love to play on words as well. So
Hmm.
it's just it's another creative outlet for me to see the world in a different way that starts from up here.
Yeah. Awesome. Love that. And
Mhm.
tell me, you said you write poetry and you said about
Yes.
your book, Tickle Pink. So, what
Yes.
genre do you like to say that you fit into?
What genre? Well, cr definitely creative nonfiction, and because to write an imaginative story that has a plot line doesn't really fit in with me unless I'm sitting in some obscure place without a pen and a paper and no inclination to write down. But I have this great thought that I think, oh, this will make a good movie, and mainly a comedy that doesn't even make any sense. But I do have fun when brainstorming that with my daughter, and we have a chuckle about it. But so writing creative nonfiction is more so up my alley because it allows me to be writing from my experience of life as well as being aware of my surroundings, to make it a more an in-depth story, whether it be a poem or a story. So that's where I get my joy from, my happy bubble, as it were, coming out and just writing what I know
Yeah.
because life is filled with different facets of experiences that can be filled with joy, filled with sadness, filled with humor, and so to be able to write that down as a creative nonfiction person writer, and especially that is relevant when writing haiku as well. So that's where I gain my energy from.
Very cool. And I love how you mentioned about your happy bubble.
Yes.
That's very
Yeah,
cool.
one has to live
So
in that.
who would be interested in reading your work then?
Who would be interested? Well, uh, definitely someone who actually appreciates nature, because that's when you write haiku, it's about nature more so. But if you write about the other poetic form, it would be about humor, which I do quite enjoy to throw in my work. But uh, I do, because I write about what makes me the person who I am, uh, brief, humor, everyday life. That relates to everybody. Everybody has that same experience. So um, I would say for example, Tickle Pink has a few, here it comes again. Has a few different stories in there which relate to the young people, but it also relates to the parents, and it also relates to events that have taken place in time that one will certainly remember. And so who can read my stuff? Many people. It's not actually putting it into a narrow box
Yep.
uh, that you wouldn't really associate with. So
Yeah,
it's hard to say,
awesome.
really. Yeah.
So wide readership. Very cool. What
Yes, well, I
style?
hope so. I mean, it's perhaps not a toddler's reading book.
Not a
So,
picture book, people. It's not a
yeah,
picture
no,
book.
picture book. Although I could draw stick people. So, anyway.
Tell us about your writing style or your writing process.
Well, my writing style. Ooh. Well, like I mentioned, sometimes it can be a word, just one word, and I just go off on tangent there. It could even be something from a song, or I walk a lot, so it could be a passing conversation of someone. So um, I generally write what comes to mind. Sometimes they're just there. I mean, especially if you can't sleep at night, a word may come, and if only I write most of them down. But so my writing style really does come from what's around me, my environment, my family, my friends, my experiences. So, yeah, and the messages sometimes aren't really from my head, are they? So they could be from the heavens above saying, get that in writing, young lady. So it comes from everywhere. There's sources everywhere. The nature of things and nature outside. So what was the question? I did tend to go
So
off on
when
tangent.
you're writing, then are you a pantser or a plotter or a bit of both? Like, how do you
Ah, okay,
put it
right.
together?
Okay. Well, certainly not the plotter, no, initially, but then that might come later once I have got my words out playing on a piece of paper. And so therefore you might want to put me in the pantser category because then, to wing it and see what transpires on the seat of my pants, pantsing it, I would say. That would probably be more so how I would write because literally things come and then I write it down. And so, and then to let it percolate on the page, to let it do what it's doing, walk away from it, let it breathe, and then come back and think, oh, yeah. Oh, that has to go. Oh, that's an obvious. It starts to take shape, and it can take shape from any point, whether it be the title or the ending, or something might happen and think, wow, that's good. All of a sudden, you wouldn't think that, but you didn't have that thought initially. But
Yeah.
so I would say I would, I don't know, wing it, pantser.
Yeah.
Pantser, that's a funny word, really. Is that even in the dictionary? But
We've created it as writers.
yeah, yeah, I had to look that one up.
Poetic license, we call it.
Yeah.
So there's seasons of our writing, and you talked about the happy bubble. Do you
Yeah.
ever have hard moments, or can you think of the hardest time since you've been writing?
Yeah. The hardest time. I can even tell you the year. 2017, really. That was when my father died. And so that was really bad, a bad time for me. I didn't think I'd ever be the same. My life had changed forever.
Mm.
But with time and God's graces, I was able uh, to pull through it and actually write a story about my grief. And it got accepted for publication in Stories of Life. The story was called A Sprinkle of Spontaneity, and it was written in the book titled Papa Shoes. But from that was a turning point in my writing career because it was my first publication in print in a book, whereas the rest prior to that was writing poetry, winning competitions online, and that was my private self, and I wasn't really sharing that. That was just what I did, and didn't share it, and didn't really have time for anything else. So I thought, but yeah, from from that point onwards, after I let the dust settle of grief's dust,
Mm.
um, everything maneuvered from there onto
Yeah.
greater
So
things.
great grief does hit everyone differently. How long did
Yeah.
it take you to come through that season?
Mm, long time, really. I don't know. Everybody has their length of time.
Yeah.
I can still find myself very sad. But more so smiles come now as opposed to tears, because I will have a memory of my father without crying. Um, it took a few years, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Back to writing.
Yes.
How do you go about revising and editing?
Ah, gosh. Revising and editing. Because I'm a stickler for detail, um, whether it's under 500 words or over 40,000 words, that will take me actually forever to actually go through everything and read it through. I'm always reading it through because that's what you've got to do. Anyone wanting to be a writer, you've got to read it through, because you can't just send off stuff that's not going to be really what you're trying to project. So, I mean, with human error as well, errors get through. And so you have to present or because first impressions do count. And so I just edit a lot. What I do is I weave out the bumpy sentences, the repeat words, and I do just like to make it flow, but it's a lot of going backwards and forwards, which can make you kind of tired of reading your own work, but it's got to be done.
You're right. It is. It's exhausting. The end
Yeah.
few times you go through it to go one more
Yeah,
time.
I'm guessing you do the same thing, right? Because it's time consuming as well. Next thing you know, it's dark and oh, I suppose I should have prepared dinner at
Yeah.
some point. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's a solitary game, really. It's not even a game, but it's like this is like it's your own. You get consumed. So luckily, we can do it in our own home. Can you imagine being a writer in an office? My goodness, you'd never leave, and you wouldn't get paid for overtime.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine that.
yeah.
So after you've
Um,
done all the revising and editing, how do you know when it's ready?
okay. So how do I know when it's ready? It's usually when the deadline is literally knocking at the door, and so I'm thinking I really got to think about the release here before that door closes or slams shut in my face. So I've combed through all the knots. I've given it enough time to breathe, and so there's only so much you can do, because it's very easy to think I haven't finished editing. You've got to know when to stop, because it's a non-stop spinning wheel of editing if you so choose to, and then all of a sudden your story might change. And so just know that if you've got the ballpark right and you've done your editing, you've done your groundwork, yeah, and then there's a deadline knocking loudly on the door. It's time to send it. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect, perfect. So you've had your book out for a little while, you've had some published pieces of writing. What's the best thing or something that surprised you about connecting with your readers?
Something. Well, because as I say, it's I do my writing in my office, home study, or tapping away in my car on some side street. Looks sinister, but I'm in my car writing. And a lot of the time you're in solitary confinement. And so when someone like reading my, here it comes again. Sorry. Tickle Pink book, I've had feedback where I mean, because of all that time alone, you think, well, no, does anyone get this? Does anyone get my thought? Does anyone get me, for that matter? But when someone approaches you and confides that they really understand what you've just written, or yes, they've gone through that themselves, or I remember that point in time, and you think, yeah, it's kind of like all that time was worth it because someone does get it. you're not alone. Someone actually gets what you're talking about. And because you do feel, well, I feel that I'm actually writing stuff about me that no one really will understand or relate to. But we're all the same, really, if you boil it down to wondering what we're like. Different, we may look different, but we're all the same. So we all perhaps think we're alone, but we're never alone, as you know. We're never alone.
Hmm. Yeah.
Ah, I think I waffled the answer out, whatever the
No,
question was.
I love that. And like, there's so much we can learn from each other.
Yeah,
And
we
what we
can.
think might be boring or not, what's the word I'm looking for? If we think something's not something that somebody else is going to learn from, glean from, we hold it inside.
Yeah, we do. And you know what we do? We don't have confidence within ourselves to share it when really
Mm,
the other person is perhaps thinking the same thing because we all go through the same stuff at various stages in different forms. And so having conversations with other people really does make you realize that uh, we're no different to anyone else. We're no
mhm.
special. We're all made the same way. We all can take time to actually listen to other people, to be honest. So, and it's very easy to be, I'm in my happy bubble, but it's very easy to stay in a bubble that you don't want to listen to other people or talk to or give the time
Yeah.
of day to. But it's very important to do that. So, um, that's what I've found about uh, my writing. And so I'm going to have to do this again. Why this is important to me is because the book is not about me. It's actually about the people that I've spoken to and realize, wow, we are not alone. We are all in this together, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, we grow, we all start as a baby. And so it's hard to even think that when you're older until you look at a baby, think, wow, I was even that size. I was that size. And look at me now, bigger. And we all have so much to learn.
We do. And I love how Les Brown says it. He says, the story you're sitting on, someone's waiting on. And so we all
Yes.
have that greatness inside of us
Yeah,
to bring out
exactly.
for someone
Yeah.
else.
And we all bring it out in different ways. It
Mm-hmm.
may not be writing, music, playing music, languages, being able to speak so many. I mean, there's so much gift out there, so much blessing,
That's right.
but we just need to grab it by the horns and know these are my horns. I'm gonna sharpen them,
Mm-hmm.
not to be like violent or anything with the horns,
No,
but
I like your
yeah,
analogy.
it's
It's
just
good.
you just really got to take instead of sitting on the fence, just
Hmm.
jump off it sometimes and know that the other side is actually quite nice and green.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Get off it. Get off the
Yeah,
fence.
exactly. Yeah. Or open again. Yeah.
Climb through it. One of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us a highlight of your author career so far.
Oh, highlight. Well, you're gonna hate it, but I'm gonna do this again. But to see my book in print because a lot of this stuff about writing and putting things on paper, uh, you may not think it's important today, but to be able to look back and see that you can look back on your memories. Well, depending what you're writing, but in this book particular, for me, I can look back on my memories and think, yeah, I did that. I wrote that. And now look, I've got Tickle Pink and it's in print and people have read it. And I can be proud of myself. I don't need anybody else to be proud for me. I can be proud of myself because it's something I've achieved. And so, and also all the other bits that I've got uh, printed in anthologies or online, whatever. It's leaving parts of yourself, like footprints, um, when you're gone, to have that still visible and to know, well, that's what I achieved.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And thank you for everyone who has hung around till now. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Go follow Diana by her book. I'm sure you'll be tickled pink once you've read it.
Here it is again.
And before we go, please share some words of wisdom for the people who are either stagnant in their writing or don't know how to start?
Okay, stagnant in their writing. Well, what I would say is to start with, be honest with yourself. Be honest with your writing. And don't let people put you off just because they don't have that same inclination or capability, because we all have different capabilities. Um, and persevere, because as you persevere in your writing, not only does your writing evolve, you evolve as a person as well. And so, and then you make more connections with yourself, with others, with your writing. And just know that God gave you a gift. And so use it. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be afraid of it. As well as just make sure, more importantly, be tickled pink by
Love
it.
it. That's awesome, Diana. Thank you so much for coming
Thank
on the
you.
show
No,
today.
thank you, Michelle. I really had fun. And the builders, you can't even hear them right now. So that's been really good. Got builders next door. So thank you. I really had time, had fun and time to enjoy this every moment sitting, chatting with you.
Awesome. Always enjoy chatting with you.
Yeah.
And everyone, remember, you were created to create, and perhaps you were created to write.